I thought I would catch up on my current spirit science playthrough, and, well, this.
The seed of life sprouts the tree of life. The tree blossoms the flower of life. The flower produces the fruit of life. And the fruit of life contains the seed of life.
I have no goddamn idea what's going on. Even after rewatching the first two I did on this particular video, I'm more lost than your mum at a meme convention. He did a remake of his first video last year, so why don't we have a look at where the bluest woohead started? And see how far we get into that before I inevitably get too confused to carry on. Oh, and before we start, I'm not going to treat this as if I'm new to Blue Boy, so if you haven't heard of this guy, you should catch up with my older spirit science coverage. Some of that crap is hilarious and you might need it for context. Link down below.
The religion of the future will be a cosmic religion. It should transcend personal God and avoid dogma and theology.
And if it's anything close to what spirit science seems to be getting at, it will be even more confusing, nonsensical and out stupid than any other religion that has ever come before. I say we scrap the whole idea and instead worship something real. Something famous, handsome and good at the me! You should all worship me!
Can you feel it? A sort of anticipation growing stronger and stronger?
Yeah, the same feeling I get when I watch your content, to the point it's almost Pavlovian whenever I see you on screen. It's sort of a feeling like the side of my face is dropping, it's hard to lift my arms, and I struggle to speak properly. I'll go to the hospital after I'm done, I promise.
Another way of putting it is, time is speeding up. We've heard that discussion for a while now.
Have we? Can't say I've heard anyone mention it, at least in the context of actual time. However, I do experience it as an old. Time is definitely faster for me now than when I was a young whippersnapper, barely able to finish a single bottle of whiskey. Now I can drink 10 in one sitting, and time goes by super fast. Days and days in an instant. I really should book that hospital visit, eh?
I know many people are feeling it, whether it happens while observing world events, or perhaps through personal experiences in their own lives.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of personal experience of feeling it, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about my penis.
Something big is happening.
Yes, it is. I'm still talking about my penis.
You can see signs of it all over the world. Technology is rapidly transforming the way that we live our lives.
Oh right, so by time getting faster, do you mean the pace of human development? Because, okay, but that's not the same as time moving faster. If anything, the faster we get to the point where humanity can start to do really cool crap like interstellar travel or building Dyson spheres, extending humanity far, far longer, then if you end up trapped on the dirt ball and blow yourselves to kingdom come, you'll slow down time immensely in that sense.
Information of literally every variety is available to us at the touch of a button.
Oh, I wouldn't bring that up if I were you, considering how little you seem to use it and just seem to stick around general woo groups, circle fapping yourselves until you can't breathe. Wait, is that why he's blue?
We are seeing huge debates and conversations taking place about all manner of subjects, from equality to major global issues.
But none of that really matters. The real question is, what is that smell? It's kind of burning tyres mixed with wet dog and a hint of paint thinner. I've searched everywhere, but I can't find the source. It even seems to follow me outside. It's everywhere. I'm starting to think I might have to wash myself. No, that can't be it. It must be the world that smells.
New cryptocurrencies appear to be on the brink of changing the way that we interface with finances and wealth.
Oh yeah, it's awesome and super useful. I use it all the time because I have loads of it and I'm not poor as all heck. Now if you don't mind, I've got to go outside and check the cat traps. It's dinner time.
And while all the while we keep seeing warnings from scientists about global warming and overpopulation.
There is definitely way too many humans for my taste, although cooking them off the planet does sound like a good way to deal with that. So maybe those two problems will solve themselves and everybody gets something to eat. Everybody but me apparently. Traps are empty again. I'm so hungry.
which, if things reach some sort of dangerous climax, it has the potential to catapult us into a different way of life very quickly.
Well, that's a funny way of saying that you're all boned. That's like saying having your house blown away by a tornado and having to live in your car has the potential to catapult you into a new way of life. Yeah, no shiznizzle.
And with all of these changes, we are actively in the process of discovering something amazing. We are remembering who we are.
Oh man, I don't want to remember who I am. I hate that guy. He's always being nice and kind and thinking of others, and is hardly ever blackout drunk. What a loser!
This revolutionary discovery is what will transform life on Earth into something completely different, something incredible and beautiful, aligned harmoniously with nature.
But you said it's who we used to be. So wouldn't it be something completely happened before? And how far back are we talking? Because people have been a lot of things throughout the centuries, but there's not a lot of them who weren't brutal monsters, idiots, or brutal idiot monsters. That, quite frankly, I would rather not be.
So many people across the globe are learning about this, and by applying what they've learned to their lives, have come to witness marvelous changes.
Like how people slowly back away from them in conversation. They now have a vague sense of smug superiority, and of course, anyone who thinks they are full of the doo-doo just needs to open their minds. Even if they do have open minds. Just not to the total horse shit.
Some have been so impacted that they've dedicated their lives to sharing what they've learned with the world. Personally, I'm someone who's still exploring it, and I want more people to talk about it with.
Hey man, you can talk about it with me all you want. I'll just point out every little itty bitty thing that I notice that's wrong with it and constantly make fun of you for having some very, very silly ideas that don't even line up with each other. 'Cause I'm such a nice guy. I keep saying that it must be true. That's Woo Logic 101, man.
Mind, body, spirit. This is the sacred trinity behind life on Earth. Without even one of these three, we could not function properly.
He's not wrong, but the iconography is just not up to snuff. There we go, that's much better one for spirit. And you know what? We will change the body to more accurately reflect how my body looks. And of course that brain is nowhere near the right size. Perfect.
And yet, in today's world, we really only understand two of the three.
It's almost like one of them isn't really a thing and there's no way to show it doing and existing, so we might as well treat it like it doesn't. Nah, I can't do that. How am I supposed to show that I have the best spirit and thus are superior to you other peasants? If it doesn't real, how can I become enlightened and prove myself to be the most enlightened of everyone?
We have scientifically mapped the brain and have a fairly comprehensive understanding of the body.
You say we a lot. Oh, is this like when the sports ball team you like does a good, people say, we won, and when they do a bad, you say, they failed? No, you aren't involved, because I'm pretty sure you basically have no understanding of the mind or the body. Because I've watched your later videos, and your ability to get anything right is limited at best, if I were being nice. However, I'm not, and, well, you were dumb.
We understand so much about each of these. Yet, what do we really know about the spirit? The soul? What is it?
It's not real. I think that's the prerequisite number of knots to make my point. I really have run out of ways of saying that about things that have no evidence for them. But really, why should I come up with new ways of saying that when you refuse to come up with a box of souls that I can actually have a look at and go, oh, that's what a soul is. And I just thought it was some nebulous BS that means basically whatever you need it to mean. Stupid me, thinking it wasn't not even the pretend.
Where does it come from?
I'm more concerned with where that skull came from. Seriously, look at you, look at the skull. There's no way that's what your skull looks like. So that means you exist in a world with actually reasonably normal shaped people. And if you look like that, it's like the Mario thing. He's wandering around in that squat form surrounded by normal humans. What is he? And similarly, I need to know, what are you? And why do you have that skull? Who did you kill, you big blue monster?
For centuries, religions have been the primary source for answers pertaining to the soul. But they're not concrete.
Oh my god, if that's not the pot calling the kettle full of poo. Because my dude, your theories hold less water than even some of the more flimsy religions. Or my poop-filled kettle. I really should empty that at some point. Someone might want tea. And at least the religious have cool crap involving superpowered skymen, and not just, hey, look at these shapes I drew with spirograph.
Each religion has its own answers about how things work on the spiritual level.
That's strange. You would think if they were correct, they would all have the same answers. Weird that. It's like when someone thinks Pascal's wager is a good argument. You know, believe in God just in case. Well, which one? Because if I pick the wrong one and it turns out he hates wrong religion believers way more than filthy atheismos or the general spiritual folk, well, that's gonna suck, isn't it? If you don't know, you might as well just not believe anything. Like, I've never been against a personal God, but when you start telling me that you have all the answers, well, that's when I really start making fun of you.
Yet, as we've touched on, with so much information available to us, and many ancient discoveries continuing to redefine our history.
See, there it is, bloody spirograph, what did I tell you? And what exactly does shapes redefine about history anyway? Is it that ancient people used to like the look of pretty designs? Wow, I had no idea that aesthetically pleasing things were aesthetically pleasing. Throughout time, how meaningful.
There are many people now recognizing the common threads between all of these religions.
Ugh, yes, religions have a fundamental commonality. They were all invented by humans. Humans that happen to wander around from place to place sharing stories and ideas, and no small amount of DNA, until they all end up having at least some of the same oral history. But just because a story is told in many places doesn't actually make that story true. It's the old adage, the plural of anecdote is not evidence. Find me the fossilised toe of Flimlegloth, the continent-spanning Superman who touched lives everywhere, and maybe I'll believe he exists. But just tell me that both you and your best mate have heard stories about him and his unbelievable, emphasis on that by the way, feats of daring do, from other people no less, and, well, I'll smile and nod. But then I'll go away and crack jokes about you behind your back.
And putting the pieces together along with modern science.
Along with modern science? Really? Really? Where? Who? I want to see this. Who am I kidding? All you ever do is say whatever comes into your head. There's probably absolutely nothing to back that up, except maybe some other dibdab saying the exact same thing with the same lack of actual corroborating proof.
Which is skyrocketing our understanding further and further into an amazing new world of freedom and delight.
Freedom and delight sounds like an American-themed massage parlor, where you get seen to by someone dressed up like Abe Lincoln with an eagle sat on their head. It doesn't sound particularly sensual, but I would do it just to say I have been touched by Abe Lincoln's birdie.
For a long time, these incredible insights went largely unnoticed by the global community.
Oh man, I wonder why that is. Probably because it's like too true, yeah? People just don't want to believe something because it's so absolutely true that it's actually false. Huh?
And while governments and secret services of the world acknowledge them, it wasn't something that really got to the masses.
Wait, what? How do you know that if it's secret services? Surely they kept that acknowledgement, what's the word I'm looking for? What does secret services do? It's right on the tip of my tongue. That's right. Keep bleeding secrets. Have you been watching the X-Files again? You know that's not a documentary, right?
Yet, today, the world is waking up. Today, this information is freely available to all of us, and I'm gonna share it with you.
Please don't. I've had quite enough of your nonsense for one day, and this isn't even close to the worst of it. But that will hopefully leave us with plenty to look at next time we visit this bluediot. Get it? It's a portmanteau of blue and idiot. I'm funny, me. Do you find yourself wondering, how can me show humans I am the smart? Is the way to thinking being a purchase? Well, to answer your incredibly poorly worded questions, yes, I think. Honestly, I have no idea what you want, but I'll be damned if I don't take this as an opportunity to sell you things. Like new improved Sick brand merch, now featuring the designer of almost all Sick brand merch. Right, the name's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say Cheryl Pringle? No, wait, it's Mrs. Sick. That's right. I always forget she exists. Also, handsome, famous, and good at the sex tease. Ampersand, not forgetting this pretty badass comic book style one that I would buy myself if I wasn't so poor. Sick brand merch, because we're tired of eating stray cats. Oh, there's one now. Get it!